All right, here we go. Today we have Herman Cowboy Douglas, close friend of Nipsey Hussle, who was with him during the time of his tragic passing. Welcome to Vlad TV.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh, man. Well, number one, I'm so sorry for your loss. I got to meet Nipsey a couple times. We did an interview. I have only good things to say about him, but I didn't have the type of relationship that you have. And, what you went through during that time, as well as going through the trial, which is actually happening right now, must be a lot.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's your first time here, so I want to get into your whole story. So you originally grew up in Windsor Hills?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you ended up moving around 83?
No, we moved to Windsor Hills in about 83. Then my family might have moved maybe, I say 87. We moved to Ladera Heights, which is not too far from Windsor Hills.
Okay. And that's where like the Rollin 60s area is?
Yeah, so when I came in 83, I met the homies down there, but then we moved out of the hood, which is really to a just more upper class part of the hood, basically, and all my friends were still in the hood, so I hung in the hood. My brothers, they grew up in a little upper class.
Okay. And was it around that time you started getting involved with the 60s?
Yes.
Okay. And what led up to that, and how did that actually happen?
This is the neighborhood I grew up in. Wherever, if my mom would have moved to Inglewood, I'd probably been from Inglewood, and she'd have moved wherever you grew up at, you're gonna be affiliated with that neighborhood. Like, you say, for instance, your mom grew up on 39th. They say, "Hey man, where you live at?" You say, "I'm on 39th." Say, "Oh yeah, he out the 30s," or say, he out the 40s, you out the 60s, you out the 90s, you out the hundreds. You know what I mean? So even if you're not from the hood, where you live at, you're gonna be affiliated with whatever's in that area.
Okay. And were you jumped in?
Oh well, I got put on. I figured I got put on. Walking through the hood one day with the big homie, the homie's like, "Man, who are you? Like, where you from?" Like, "Man, I'm from the hood." "What they call you?" "I ain't got no name, but I'm from the hood." And they like, "Oh, really? Come on back here." Squabbled three homies back to back. Back then we squabbled up. We were more or less friends. You fall down, they let you get up, squabble up some more. You know what I mean? Fortunately, that day I never fell, so they was like, "Okay, that motherfucker squabbled."
Okay. And what changed once you became part of that crew?
Nothing really changed. Just really, just childhood friends. We was out here, repping the hood. He's from the hood. And he just from the neighborhood.
Right, but with that, you start to take on the various politics.
Yeah,
of the 60s. You know what I mean? Like, you may not have a problem with this guy, but if he's beefing with the 60s.
So it was beefs that the 60s had that I had no knowledge of. I got knowledge of it when I went to juvenile hall. So, go to juvenile hall, man, they say, "Where you from?" I said, "I'm from 60." So motherfuckers taking off on a flight. So we squabbing, and I didn't really know why, but, I had to ride those beefs, just because they was beefing with my neighborhood where my mom grew up. Had my mom moved to their neighborhood, I'd probably been from over there.
Yeah. I mean, I've interviewed Big U before, and we talked about the whole A-Tray 60s beef that goes back like 4 decades, and people sort of know what it's about, but not really. It's sort of a fuzzy story.
79 is where it actually happened, because it's Crippin started in 69. This is when they say the C was born. Mm-hmm. The C was born in 69, but in 79 the C was split up. And more than it was a beef with the Rollin 60s and the A-Tray gangsters, it split up LA.
Yeah.
Like when the Rollin 60s and the A-Tray gangsters started fighting, it split LA in half.
Right, because was that the first time that there was like a Crip on Crip war? Before then it was just Crips Bloods, but this is the first time that inter-Crip war.
And it really, to my knowledge, it probably hadn't even been like 3-4 murders or 3-4, really killings at all between Crips and Bloods up until 79. So what happened in 79, when that beef started, it exasperated the beefs all over LA, because it went from just fighting to actually now it became like an arms race. And it changed LA. And what people don't understand is it changed LA in the fact that where now you had to either decide you was gonna be with the neighborhood car or you was gonna be with the gangster car. And it split the gangs of LA up.
Yeah, everyone had to take sides at that point.
Everyone had to take sides.
Yeah.
And it became bigger.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it's unfortunate that you have these types of situations where like people are fighting and they don't even know why they're fighting.
Exactly.